Alright, welcome back to part 3 of the Fish Dog Massive Construction and Metals windmill project. Now, when we finish the windmill blade at some point, which we're not there yet, but we'll get the class started on lathe work. So, we need to make a spindle. So, we're using the 10mm galvanized bar there, and we need to make these two parts. Now, we make them exact, we get a good spin. Make it too tight, it won't go in. Too loose, it'll blow up in the sea breeze. So, start with, we're going to make this piece here. Okay? It's 40 mils long. So, the first thing I've done is I've cut a piece just over 40 mils long. 41, 42. Okay? So, our first project is facing off. So, you get your piece, and I put it in the chuck. So, I bring it over here, and I wind it in. Now, this video is complementary to when I actually show you how to use the lathe in the first place. So, watching the video, even giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever you choose, that doesn't substitute actually being shown how to use the lathe for safety reasons. Alright, so I've got in, I've tightened up the chuck. There's belts in here. There's another video with Mr. Ellis, he shows you how to use it. But I'm just letting you know, there's belts in here. They have to be engaged like that. It doesn't have to be fully flicked on, but that's tight now. And now, I'm going to wind. That's as far as this direction it'll go. Now, I'm going to make sure it cannot hit the chuck. It's the chuck itself. So if I get the maximum there, I know, and then I put the stopper on there, I know at no point will I be able to drive my cutting tip into the chuck, which will destroy the cutting tip, okay? So now I'm good. I can wind it back a bit. So I've got about 20 mils sticking out, okay, which is, it's in the safe limit. You can do 3 times the diameter sticking out, but we're 10 mils thick, so 2 times 10 is 20, that's fine. That's enough. So just come around and have a look. Probably get it up close. And if I wind it in, just wind it across here. And I wind it in like that. I can get to the tip, I can get past the tip, but that is the maximum I can go in. I cannot, and because I've locked it here, see the lever here? I've pulled that up. So no matter how stupid I am, I cannot drive my cutting tip into the chuck. So with that in mind, I'll start, make sure you spin it 3 times with your hand. Looks good. Not touching anything. I'll now press the green button to engage it. So we're on. Now, we could zoom in up here. As you go across, to start with, you just want to take the finest little slither off. Now, when you're first doing it, it's not exactly flat. That's what we call it, facing off. So there's a little burr where we did the bandsaw cut. The burr is going to be the first thing to connect with the cutting tip. So just across the middle and back. Didn't touch it that time. Now with the slightest touch in there, about 1/8 of a turn of this dial. Now you can see it's just starting to get a few little specks are coming off. Go across to the middle and then stop. You don't need to go all the way across because it's spinning around. It'll come to you. You only cut on the going down side. So we're cutting on the left hand side here. Here we go. And now we very slowly, there's no race, no prizes for forcing it across. We go across, and we've probably taken off 1 millimeter here. That's why I get that extra 2 millimeters. So that's 40, I cut it 42, and I've just faced it off. And that, if I went again, nothing would happen because I've taken it off. I'll move it out of the way, hit the stop button, wait for it to stop. I can then get my chuck key, take it out. One good face off there. Unfortunately, we've got to do the other side. So I put it back in. And spin it a couple times with your hand. It's all good. Turn it back on. Do the other side. Once again, a little bit to start with, which is just the burr. Only moving this about 1/8 of a turn each time. Very slowly. And now we get it to the edge. So that is, turn it off. All right. Now always, when you have that in there, first thing you should do is remove it. Because on very rare occasions, you could have it in there, you could turn the dial, and if you're dumb enough, you could turn that on, which would be an almighty bang bang. Okay, so now we have a 40mm piece, and it's been faced off at both ends. So we can go into the next part, which will be another episode, where we'll be using a centerpiece and a drill bit to get the dial in there. So hopefully that'll come out part 2. All right, thank you.